The FIFA World Cup Trophy is worth an estimated $20 million. It is 36 centimeters tall, 6 kilograms of 18-carat solid gold with a base of green malachite. Two figures rise from its base in spiraling lines, arms thrown wide, lifting the world above their heads at the moment of victory. You have seen it 10,000 times. Lifted by Pelé and Beckenbauer and Zidane and Ronaldo. Held toward camera flashbulbs at the end of tournaments watched by 500 million people simultaneously. It is the most photographed sporting object in the history of human competition. The man who made it died without a cent of its commercial value. His name was Silvio Gazzaniga. He was a sculptor from Milan. He shaped this object from plaster with his own hands in 1971, signed a contract that gave FIFA ownership of everything that followed, and spent the rest of his life watching institutions collect billions from something he built for the cost of a commission. This is his story. The original World Cup prize was the Jules Rimet Trophy, a small, ornate object made of gold-plated silver, depicting Nike, the Greek goddess of victory. It had a complicated history. In 1966, 4 months before England hosted the World Cup, it was stolen from a stamp exhibition in Westminster. Someone walked past 6 security guards and took it in broad daylight. A week later, a man walking his dog in South London watched the animal sniff at a parcel wrapped in newspaper. Inside, the missing trophy. England won the tournament that summer. Bobby Moore lifted it at Wembley. 4 years later, Brazil won in Mexico for the 3rd time. Under FIFA rules, any nation winning 3 times kept the trophy permanently. Brazil took it home to Rio de Janeiro. In 1983, it was stolen again. It has never been recovered, melted down most likely, its specific form gone from the world. FIFA needed a new trophy. The next World Cup was 1974 in West Germany. They opened a competition. The Man in the Workshop. Silvio Gazzaniga was born in Milan on January 23, 1921. He trained at the Humanitarian School of Applied Arts and the High School of Art at the Sforzesco Castle, specializing as a goldsmith and jeweler. He started working as an apprentice at 16. He made things, medals for federations, trophies for competitions, commemorative pieces for institutions, functional art, art that exists to be given away, to mark an occasion, to carry meaning from one person's hands to another's. In 1953, he joined a Milanese firm called the Stabilimento Artistico Bertoni as art director and master sculptor. He would stay for the rest of his working life. From 16 to past 90, he worked every single day. His son Giorgio described him as an extremely private man. He found inspiration walking in the mountains. He had been married to his wife Elsa for over 60 years. He was a football fan, and when he heard that FIFA needed a new World Cup trophy, he entered the competition. 53 designs arrived from artists across 7 countries. Gazzaniga understood something about the brief that not all 53 entrants would have grasped. A trophy that will be lifted by a footballer at the moment of winning the World Cup is not a static object. It exists to be raised above a head, to catch the light, to be photographed from below against the sky with arms outstretched and 40,000 people screaming. He designed for that moment. Most of the other designs, he suspected, were conceived as flat images, drawings on paper that looked good on paper. He made a plaster model instead. He brought it physically to the jury. His son later explained the thinking. He knew his design couldn't be understood on paper. You had to hold it. You had to see it from below, raised in the light. The jury saw it immediately. They understood right away that it was a very photogenic cup, Giorgio said. It's easy to lift and beautiful when raised. He created a universal trophy. The design was built on one clear idea. 2 human figures, stylized, rising from the base in spiraling lines, arms thrown wide, lifting the globe at the moment of victory. Not gods, not a goddess with wings, not a conventional cup. People. Ordinary people, athletes, humans, holding the world. The lines spring out from the base, Gazzaniga said, rising in spirals, stretching out to receive the world. From the remarkable dynamic tensions of the compact body of the sculpture, rise the figures of 2 athletes at the stirring moment of victory. And this, the line that stayed with him his whole life. I designed it to reward heroism, but not superhuman heroism. The jury awarded him the commission, and then he signed the contract. The FIFA contest stipulated that the winner would not hold the rights to his work. One sentence: clean, administrative, final. Gazzaniga signed it, as any artist entering an institutional competition in 1971 would have. There was no precedent that could have told him what would happen next. No reason to imagine that the object he was shaping from plaster on a workbench in Milan would become one of the most commercially reproduced images in global sport. Licensed, multiplied, printed, and broadcast into billions of homes across a 50-year span. He signed it. He made the trophy. FIFA took ownership of everything that followed. His compensation, as his son quietly noted, was that he gained more commissions afterward. He designed the UEFA Cup, the UEFA Super Cup. More medals, more trophies, more work. The World Cup opened doors, but it closed the one that would have mattered most. The trophy debuted at the 1974 World Cup in West Germany. Franz Beckenbauer lifted it first, a German captain on German soil, under stadium floodlights, above a crowd of 70,000 people. The object caught the light exactly as Gazzaniga had designed it to. It was perfect. Gazzaniga watched from Milan. His object worked. It was in the world, doing what it was made to do. And from that moment, every licensing deal, every replica sold, every advertisement built around its image, every World Cup broadcast that opened with a slow rotation of gold curves, all of it belonged entirely to someone else. In 1982, Italy won the tournament in Spain, his country, his trophy lifted by an Italian captain. He watched the streets fill. There were countless people rejoicing, he said later. It looked like they'd gone mad. He shared the joy. He shared none of the proceeds. By the mid-1990s, FIFA had signed commercial arrangements worth hundreds of millions of dollars, with the trophy's image at the center. Replica trophies were manufactured and sold to federations and to the public, produced in that same small factory outside Milan, the Bertoni workshop, by craftsmen following Gazzaniga's original design. And FIFA collected the revenue from everyone. The original never left its vault in Zurich, except under armed escort. Gazzaniga was never consulted, never asked for permission, never offered a share. The object had left his hands and entered the permanent property of an institution that would generate billions from it over the following half-century. He continued making things in his workshop. Silvio Gazzaniga died on October 31, 2016. He was 95 years old. He died at home in his sleep in Milan, the city where he was born, where he had trained, where his hands had spent 8 decades shaping metal and plaster into things that would outlast him. He just didn't wake up that morning. His son called it a peaceful death. FIFA President Gianni Infantino released a statement. "The World Cup is a mythic object for players and football lovers," it read. "We will be eternally grateful. Eternally grateful." The phrase sits uncomfortably once you understand what the contract said. For the 2026 World Cup, the tournament being played right now, FIFA has for the first time incorporated the actual image of the trophy directly into the official tournament logo. The spiraling lines, the outstretched arms, the globe lifted above 2 human figures. Gazzaniga's design, his specific vision of heroism, is now the face of the biggest sporting event on the planet. Prize money for the 2026 tournament is projected at over $1 billion in total. The gold in the physical trophy is worth perhaps $50,000 at current rates. The image, what Gazzaniga built, is worth everything beyond that. He said once, "A work of art is a bit like one's child, as it is a creation. He created a child the entire world recognized. He just was not allowed to keep it."